Okay, today I want to discuss with you the leadership in Congress, some of the key power positions in that chamber. And one of the things I want you to make sure that you're understanding when we talk about organization, we talk about the structure of Congress and these majority leaders and these minority leaders, we're really focused on the party organization in Congress and how the Republicans and the Democrats group together. Now, when we look at the House of Representatives, the first key role is that of Speaker of the House. This is the representative who presides over the House. They appoint members to select and conference committees. And those conference committees iron out the differences between House and Senate bills, so that's a great power over the final nature of legislation. They appoint Rules Committee members and the chairman of the Rules Committee, and since the Rules Committee dictates how legislation is debated on the House floor, another key component of determining the fate of a bill. The Speaker also assigns bills to committees, and that's a tremendous power for determining the ultimate fate of a bill. Especially if you don't like the piece of legislation, you can assign it to a committee where you know it's not going to be acted upon. Now, the Speaker is representative of the party that has the majority of the seats in that chamber. So right now we have a Republican majority in the House, and we have a Republican Speaker in John Boehner. Now, the majority and minority leaders are party positions. These are chosen by the party members, and their job is to be floor leaders and to strategize the type of legislation to go after. The majority and minority whips are assistant floor leaders. They inform their party leaders about the mood of the chamber. They keep account on important votes, and their job is to persuade members of the party to vote along party lines on important bills. Now, we talked before in the previous unit about the weakness of political parties and how candidates for Congress run their own campaigns and use their own money and raise their own funds. And you see the payoff of that problem when you come to Congress and you have very little power that can be played over your fellow members of your party. The big advantage that the minority or majority and minority leaders and the whips have is that they still have access to controlling the flow of legislation through the chamber. So that's one tool that they can use to persuade. Now, over on the Senate, the vice president is the presiding officer of the Senate. He has the responsibility for breaking a tie if it's a 50-50 split, and he's in charge of running the meetings. But he often isn't there. So when he's not there, the president pro tempore is the one who takes over in his absence. The president pro tem is a ceremonial position typically given to the longest serving member of the majority party. Now, the president pro tem is also, though, third in line for the presidency. The order of ascension is president, then vice president, then Speaker of the House, and then President pro tem. So it is still an important position in the structure of our overall government. But when it comes to the true leader of the Senate, that's the majority leader. They are recognized first for all debates, they lead the majority party, and they influence committee assignments and influencing setting the agenda for the chamber. And that can be very critical in terms of how things come about. Finally, the minority leader and the party whips, same role that they had in the House. It's about organization, it's about strategizing, and it's about persuading fellow members.